Well, hello and howdy ho everyone, Foxy Games here and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Full Story Playthrough. In the previous episode, we went through the Copied Factory in the Yorha Dark Apocalypse raid, and we are going to go back there eventually. We're not actually doing it in this episode. I said we were, but we're actually not. I want to space these things out and kind of play them patch by patch. I don't want to do things out of order. It doesn't truly matter for the next Yorha raid, but to be honest, I'm not excited to do it. So we're just gonna go in patch order. I am going to take this quest here for the Eden raids, just because it's again in order. Good news, or at least it has the potential to be good news. I've received word from Master Urianger. Unfortunately, the message was rather thin on details. He only requested that you return to the Crystarium and meet him at the Wandering Stairs. Not the most likely of places for important meetings, but I suppose you might be able to squeeze in a pint or two while you're there. The truth is, I neglected to do this in the last Eden video, so we're just going to squeeze it in here. You know, the Wandering Stairs, it has kind of a Waking Sands kind of feel to its name, doesn't it? I wonder, do locations get transported across reflections as well? Pray accept mine apologies for calling thee hither at such short notice. The matter I wish to discuss is of considerable import. If it's that urgent, wouldn't it be quicker to use those link pearl things Reen's been telling me about? These words are best delivered in person. Did something happen to the Empty? Not that doth warrant our immediate attention. The elements are in a state of equilibrium, and the propagation of flora continues apace. So what's this about, then? As thou art aware, we are not of this world, hailing from what is referred to as the Source. However, unlike Foxy, Thancred and I exist only as ether given corporeal form. Our bodies remaineth on the Source, though the thread that binds us to them doth grow weaker with the passage of time. And if you stay here too long, you might never be able to return. Precisely. Now, with the wheels of change and the Empty set in motion, we believe this a fitting junction to take our leave. We shall but regret in not being present to see the transformation reach its completion. That hardly seems worth losing your bodies over, though. If you have to go back to your own world, who are we to stop you? I always knew this day would come. You'll still have Gaia and Foxy. I know that you'll see this through to the end. Together. We will. I may not be half the woman Minfilia was, but I have friends I can turn to. They might be brutally honest in their opinions at times, or prefer to save their words and let their actions do the talking, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Just promise you won't transform into a crazy ice lady and try to kill me again. Though I can't say what the future might bring, no doubt Reen and Gaia will need your support in the days to come. Alas, the mysteries surrounding the fairy are yet to be solved. Whether thou shouldst find the answers that thou seekest or nay, lend not thine ears to its honeyed words, for thy will is thine own. Never forget this. I won't. The time of our departure is at hand. Yet know that no matter where we may be, ever shall we pray for your success. With Urianger and Thancred set to leave the First, it seems wise to share this development with Yalfurt, who will continue to oversee expeditions into the Empty. Yes, it is getting close to a time where we're preparing to leave. We haven't quite figured out the solution yet, but that time is fast approaching. You're back sooner than expected. Is everything alright? Oh dear, that's rather unfortunate. I dare say it's something jolly important for them to leave in such a hurry. In any case, I wish them the best of luck, wherever their work may take them. I shall remain here and hold the fort, as it were, and make the necessary provisions should any further forays into the Empty be required. Safe travels, Mistress Foxy. Lovely. Alright, that was just a quick little quest. We will be back to finish things out here in the Empty eventually. We still have the final wing of the Eden raids to do. And we do have some other things to do in the Source as well, but that will come later. For now, we continue with the main story quest. Alright, so canonically, the main story quest takes place right after we've woken up. So... Ah, Mistress Games, will you be venturing forth today? Do be sure to take care of so. Though they say the star shower was harmless, one can never be too careful. But I concede it is not for me to tell the Warrior of Darkness how to look after herself. Old habits, you understand. Ah, Foxy, how very opportune. Who would that be? Morin. Greetings, my friend. Do you perchance have a moment to spare? Wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to thank you, you see, for revealing to us the truth of the Warriors of Light. After all these years, your tale set the record straight. Finally, the people see them as the great heroes they were. Or the great hero he is in the case of Ardbert. You too were surprised to see him, I think. Oh, you could say that. At the time, I was not certain what to make of it all, but I could see the effect his words had on those around me. And then the stars rained down from the sky, and, well, you know the rest. When the commotion died down, you were nowhere to be seen, but I was determined to express my gratitude, and so here I am. Thank you, Foxy, for giving voice to the truth and restoring the Warriors of Light to their rightful place in history. Should you perhaps wish to have your account of these matters committed to writing, I would be more than willing to serve as your scribe. Indeed, if there is anything I can do to help, anything at all, you need only say the word. Let's see. What can you tell me about the Warriors of Light? Or, very well, tell me what the situation is like in the city. Well, we know all about the Warriors of Light. The situation in the city? Do you mean the people's awakening as Warriors of Light? Well, while questions remain about the circumstances surrounding Ardbert's return, history tells us that what took place may not be entirely unprecedented. Ah, but to understand that requires an understanding of Warriors of Light in a broader Rantic context. If it please you, I should be glad to provide an overview. I flatter myself that it may grant you a better grasp of that which is occurring not only in the Crystarium, but the world at large. Excellent. I shall return to the cabinet at once and look up the relevant texts. Pray join me at your earliest convenience. No rest for the righteous, it would seem. Do not let me keep you, miss. I bid you a pleasant day. Alright, let's go. Over to the Cabinet of Curiosity. Ah, Foxy, excellent timing. I have but this moment finished gathering the materials for our lesson. As a great many works make reference to the Warriors of Light, I shall, with your permission, focus only upon the details that seem most relevant. The Warriors of Light, you say? Forgive us, but we couldn't help overhearing. We've been out keeping watch over the Crystarium, but it appears to be business as usual. So I thought I'd spend some time brushing up my knowledge of familiars, and Alphino volunteered to help. I actually came on a different errand, but I'd be interested in hearing about the Warriors of Light as well. May I join you? Of course, the more the merrier. If you would care to find a table below, I shall be down with the books in a moment. It's been a while since we've spent some time with our friends here. The twins in particular. Were one to pore over the annals of Vrantic history, one would note the comparatively frequent reoccurrence of individuals hailed as Warriors of Light. Odbert and his comrades require no introduction, but many others bore the epithet long before them. To name but a few, there was Tolthwyl, legendary first king of Lakeland, Rodfert and Sollard, shut up phone, the fabled Dran and Galgant duo of Vobert. And no list of Vrantic heroes would be complete without the Archmage Tiuna of Runka. In older texts, she too was called a Warrior of Light. Well, we did learn that she was able to speak with all different manner of creatures. It did surprise me how ready people were to forget the negative associations of the title, but I guess it makes sense if it's been around for centuries. Verily, in ages past it was simply a synonym for hero. In the wake of the Flood, however, light came to be regarded with fear, a title used not to exalt, but to revile. A far cry from its beginnings. This, my friends, is Norvrant's oldest epic, the original tale of the struggle between good and evil. In a time when all lay shrouded in darkness, a prophesized hero rose to deliver the world from its doom. Fighting in the name of the light, the hero styled himself its foot soldier, and thus did he come to be known as the Warrior of Light. Curiously, in the centuries that followed, other heroes appeared who claimed the self-same epithet, despite sharing no discernible connection with their predecessors. And in time, Warrior of Light came to be a name accorded to all men and women of uncommon skill and valor. Well, well, the plot thickens. As you know, the title Warrior of Light is also used in the source. Though the manners in which individuals have earned it are many and varied, heroes have been honored thus since antiquity. Nor does the custom show any sign of dying out, as you can well attest. We've encountered many shades of old warriors of light. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It surely can't be a coincidence. Indeed not. Let us imagine a man who is awakened to the echo and is able to hear Heidelin's voice. As she styles him, so too does he style himself, a warrior of light. Of course, being blessed with the echo does not in itself make one a hero, and conversely, there will have been no few heroes who are not blessed with it. But such distinctions are immaterial to the masses, and over time they came to use the title Warrior of Light and the word hero interchangeably. Sounds about right. It would be interesting to see if the theory holds true in other worlds, if crossing the rift were that easy. Heidelin did call me a warrior of light. She did? I've never heard her voice myself. Well, Serene doesn't have the echo. But I can feel her presence, perhaps through Menphilia. At any rate, assuming all of this is true, and there's a common thread behind the epithet, I doubt the Scions would have been amused. To have the world at large associate light, and by extension Heidelin, with good must have added insult to injury. Ahem. While this discussion is undeniably fascinating, I wonder, should I be privy to it? Perhaps it would be better if I excused myself. Oh, no need for that, my friend. Pray accept our apologies. Your lesson on the Warriors of Light has given us much to ponder. Oh, did someone say Warriors of Light? Ah! Ricky Tio, are you alright? Ah, my precious tomes. Did I not say you must take care in the cabinet? Oh, she's precious. You too, Arkil. Erwill. We're sorry, Master Morin. Aren't you... the Warrior of Darkness? My name's Ricky Tio, and I want to help everyone. Please, tell me what I have to do to be a hero, to be a Warrior of Light. She's adorable. Ah, she's so cute. Setting aside our misgivings, it would seem churlish to discourage the young lady. Let's hear what she has to say. No harm done, to the children at least. Even children want to become Warriors of Light. The children's inquisitiveness is to be commended, but, my precious tomes. We're sorry we knocked over the books. Do you remember me? When you returned from the sea with the Exarch, I asked you how you became so strong. I remember. So, I want to be a Warrior of Light, but not one that fights with a sword and all that. No, I want to be the kind that fights with potions and heals people, an apothecary. And I'm going to help everyone in the Crystarium. No, in all of Norvrant. When I told Arkil and Erwell this, they said that the cabinet should have lots of tomes about potions. But this place is so big, and we don't even have the faintest idea where to begin searching. At this rate, I'm not going to get anywhere. If one knew where to look, one should indeed be able to find treatises on potions here. Even so, I fear they may prove a little difficult for one so young, but Esteemed warrior of darkness, perhaps you might accompany young Ricky Tio to Spagirix. Rather than through tomes, I believe she stands to learn more by observing the Chirurgeons at their work. Sounds like a plan. It seems we're finished here, so we'll come with you. Let's see. Last on the Spagirix is a rotten egg. We won't be mean about it. Ha! I'll have you know that I'm really fast. You're going to be the rotten egg. Well, since Alphino has so kindly volunteered me, I shall remain here and tidy up. I hope that today's lesson will be of some use to you. You have no idea, Morin. You have no idea. And neither do you, dear viewers, unless you've seen how this patch ends up. Chesameel's medicines work really well. I just wish they didn't taste so bad. After you finish helping Ricky, can you help us become Warriors of Light too? It's not that simple, kid. It appears there aren't so many patients at the moment. I only pray that such peaceful days continue. A warrior who fights with potions. It's certainly innovative. I prefer a blade myself, but to each her own. See how her eyes shine, my friend. We have made her day. I suppose we have. Ascian Machination or no, it wouldn't do to dash the dreams of one so young. The Exarch would feel the same, I believe. I think so too. Right, I'm here. What do I do? What do I do? Well now, to what do I owe the pleasure of so many bright-eyed visitors? Is that the way of it, sweetie? You wish to learn about medicine? That's right. I want to become a warrior of light who uses potions to help people all over the world. Well, that is a very noble endeavor, and you aren't alone in it. No few at our infirmary yearn to venture forth as warriors of light. But ultimately, they have all decided not to pursue that dream. Huh? Why? Because the people here need them too, sweetie. The guards who place themselves in harm's way to keep us safe, the artisans who toil tirelessly that we might sustain our way of life, and younglings like you who are the future of the Crystarium. They couldn't simply abandon them, you see, and so difficult though it was, they made the decision to remain. Then, does that mean my dream isn't any good? Oh, sweetie, yours is a wonderful dream, and it would be my pleasure to help you pursue it. If we all work hard, the day will come when our Chirurgeons may set forth to aid folk in every corner of the realm. As we strive towards that day, I hope that we can rely upon you as well. Though I must warn you, ours is not an easy path. No, you must work very, very hard. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'll become the best apothecary ever, just you watch. Now that's the spirit. Without further ado, then, may I entrust you with a task. I place an order at Sweet Steve for a potion ingredient, and I would like you to go and collect it. Ooh, an ingredient! Leave it to me, miss. My, such an abundance of energy, though I can't help but wonder if she'll be alright by herself. My apologies, but would you mind accompanying her? When you arrive at Sweet Steve, speak with a woman named Gracine, and she will point you in the right direction. I shall join you, as the one who suggested this course to Ricky Tio. I would assist in her first steps. And what about the two of you? Are you coming along too? Well, we do want to become Warriors of Light, just not the same as Ricky. So we'll wait for you here, Warrior of Darkness. When you return, please teach us how to fight. In that case, Reed and I shall keep them company and take the opportunity to ask about their aspirations. Alright, kids. Too many grown-ups would only diminish Riki Tio's sense of accomplishment. We'll stay here and talk to her friends. Thank you, sweetie. I feel better knowing that you're keeping an eye on Riki Tio. If it's to be had at Sweet Sieve, I assume the ingredient is some manner of crop. We won't move an ilm until you return. We know you're busy, but we want to be just like you. We hope you'll teach us how. Push-ups, sit-ups, and plenty of juice. Oh no, wait, that's Vegeta. You know, I don't think I ever walked over this way. There's never been a reason to. Huh, Ricky's all the way over here, and so is Alphino. Are these small enough? Ah, there you are. As it turns out, the ingredient still wants for harvesting, so we're going about that now. Well, let's talk to Gracine. If it isn't the Warrior of Darkness herself! May I assume you're with Master Alphino? Right. Lest you wonder, Chesameel's order is for grapes. As busy as we have been of late, however, I regret to say we didn't have the time to harvest them. So it was with apologies that I asked Master Alphino and his young companion to help themselves to the fruits on the vines. Perhaps you can lend them a hand. It's the undersized grapes you'll want to pick. They're too small for normal consumption, but suitable for making wine and medicine. I didn't know you could use grapes to make medicine. Well, let's start picking some. Oh, you're here too. We're picking little grapes. It's quite fun. Though too small for normal consumption, these grapes are suitable for making wine and medicine. Wow, you've picked this many already? Amazing! I dare say we have enough between us. Shall we take them back to Chesameel? Hehe, I can't wait to see what she's going to do with them. Tell me, Riki, what made you want to become an apothecary and warrior of light? Why? Well, a while ago I fell sick. Really sick. My body was burning up and I felt so weak and I couldn't even get out of bed. Then a traveling apothecary came and gave me a potion to drink. It was the foulest thing I'd ever tasted, but it made me get better. She was so brave, the apothecary I mean. She went about taking care of people, even when it was dangerous, and I decided I wanted to help people just like her. So I started brewing potions out of grass and giving them to my friends, but I didn't really know what I was doing, or if there was anything else I could do. Then not long ago, a neighbor told me he was going to become a warrior of light and go traveling the world helping people. And I thought, that's the same as what I want to do. I see. Out of curiosity, what did your neighbor do in the end? Thaler? I haven't seen him for a bit, so he must already be out there looking for people to help. Ah. Thaler, one of the gods awakened by the star shower. Thank you for sharing your tale with us, Riki Tio. I myself took inspiration from one not unlike your traveling apothecary, and I hope her good example will spur you on to realize your dreams. But it will not be done in a day. Such lofty goals are reached through hard work and persistence, through countless little acts of heroism, like delivering the grapes to Chesameel. It would seem I've been laboring under a misapprehension. I had convinced myself that it was Elidibus who had sowed the desire to become warriors of light within the hearts of the people. But I see now that the impulse to aid their fellow man abided within them from the first. Elidibus did no more than give it a name. And as he is so kindly proclaimed, we must return to our own world ere long. With the Exarch laboring tirelessly, I doubt not but that a way will be found. Yet I believe I speak for all of us when I say I cannot leave in good conscience, not until we have dealt with Elidibus. This is no longer a strange and distant land, after all. Norvrent has become as a home to us, and her people our own. Let us return to Spagirix. It wouldn't do to keep your admirers waiting. Could barely see the tower through the fog, just the glow. Well, alright. That's enough sightseeing, I believe. Huzzah, you're back! We're ready to start learning. Ricky didn't make you drink one of her grass potions, did she? Thankfully, no. Ricky Tio was beaming with pride when she returned. It may have only been a simple task, but she won't forget this achievement. After chatting with Arkil and Erwol here, we came to an agreement, but I'll let them explain their request themselves. Rikitio has delivered her grapes, as have I. Thanks for helping with the grapes, Warrior of Darkness. In return, I promise to brew you a potion one day. My thanks for your kind help, sweetie. We now have all the ingredients we require. From the grapes we shall make a vinegar, to which we will add elf grass and a few other herbs to produce an invigorating syrup. Though it's unspeakably sour, it does wonders for the constitution. As part of her studies, I may just have to give Rikitio a little taste. Oh dear. That sounds nasty. My thanks for bringing this lovely little one to us. I shall do my best to make an apothecary out of her. Alright, what do the kids want then? Warrior of Darkness, if you've finished helping Ricky, won't you show us some fighting? Not play fighting, but honest-to-God's fighting. We already have some enemies that you can deal with. Vampire bats. The guards say they become a pest around the Crystarium of late. We tried to sneak outside to hunt them, but the guards caught us and sent us home. But they shouldn't mind if you were doing the fighting and we were just watching. The children told us as much while you were away. In preparation, Chesamil kindly furnished us with some lures for the bats. While the creatures won't give you any sport, bear in mind that the younglings will be watching. That's to say, put on a good show, yes? Right, let's head outside at once. Everyone follow me. Alice, wait just a... come on then, children. I dare say Alice is as excited about this as the kids are. I shall remain here with Rikitio. The other children I leave in your care, my unruly sister included. Yeah. What? Everyone's going outside to see you fight? Oh, I want to watch too. But no, I have to study. I'll stay here and help Chesamil make that syrup. Very good. Everyone has their role, after all. Looks like we're going straight outside. It should be safe enough for the children here. We've heard the tales, but at last we could see you fight with our own eyes. We've been waiting for you, Warrior of Darkness. Everyone's here. Good. Let's get started, shall we? As their name suggests, vampire bats feed on blood, and originally being nocturnal creatures, they've grown more active with the return of night and become a nuisance. To draw them out, we'll use Chesamil's lures, which work by exploiting their heat-seeking behavior. The bats are wont to nest under the eaves, so you are like to attract more if you place the lures near buildings. I have here 6 lures, 3 each for you and me. As proof of a successful kill, I want you to gather up their fangs. Whoever collects the most is the winner. Oh, you're hunting too? Yes, well, there's nothing like friendly competition to bring out the best in Foxy. Anyway, while we hunt the bats, the 2 of you stay here with Reen. She's really strong too and will keep you safe. Without further ado then, let the contest begin. Of course Alice would make it a competition. Don't mind us, we'll be watching from a safe distance. I won't blink, not even once. So the bat's nest under the eaves. It's important to know your enemy. That it is. So let's go and pick a good spot to start hunting. Alright, this looks like a good spot. It's near a building. A heat lure. Filled with an alchemical mixture that gives off a balmy heat, this pouch provides a portable source of warmth and is incidentally ideal for luring vampire bats. Got 3. Owned. Alright. Let's find the next spot. This place looks nice and dark. It's not quite near a building, but it's nice and dark. Well, we only found one here. That's okay. Next one. Alright, let's be a little more choosy about where we get this last one. This one looks probably pretty good. It's close enough to a building. And you know what? If we lose to Alice, we lose to Alice. We'll let her have a victory. Well, we got 2. I wonder if it even is possible to lose to her. Guess we'll find out. I have... how many? 6. The bats didn't stand a chance! Wow, that was amazing! Well fought, Foxy. The children were hanging on your every move. And as was I, to be honest, though I know the tally. May I see your fangs for good measure? Apologies for the wait. My fangs. Not a bad haul, if I do say so myself. Five, 6, 7. 7 fangs from Alice. Wow, she beat me. Which means that victory goes to Alice. Foxy collected 6. Ha! I did it! I bested Foxy. In another goddamn life, you didn't even try, did you? Oh boy. And there I was taking it seriously. Spare me your pity next time, will you? It wasn't a pity party, I'm sorry. I love you, Alice. So, children, now you've seen the Warrior of Darkness in action, what are your impressions? She's incredible, miss. The bats were down before they even knew it. Our guards are strong, but the Warrior of Darkness is much, much stronger. We want to be just like her. Good. If you're looking for an example to emulate, you might as well pick the best. I want you to remember how you felt when you watched Foxy and train hard. Keep at it for long enough and you'll be strong too. If you don't mind telling us, when did you decide you wanted to become Warriors of Light? Well, we were there listening with everyone when Ardbert appeared, but I've wanted to be strong since before I came to the Crystarium. The Sin Eaters killed my mother and father, see, and I promised myself I'd learn how to protect people one day. Like Ardbert says, this is our home. We're the ones who have to protect it. We're the ones who have to rise up as new Warriors of Light. What about you, Arkell? Me? To be honest, I'm still not sure what I want to do. But if my friends were in trouble, I know that I would want to help them. And I want to go on adventures with them, see the world together. That's a wonderful goal. You really think so? It's hard to explain, but it's something I felt when I saw the star shower the other day. Oh. I felt as though there was something I'd lost and that I had to go out there to find it. Oh. Well, for the both of you, there's nothing for it but to train. When we return to the city, I'll teach you some exercises you can do by yourself. Thanks for showing us your fighting skills, Warrior of Darkness. We'll never forget it. I understand how Arkell feels. The star shower didn't awaken me to Heidelin's voice, but that vision of the final days of Amarat burning. It filled me with sadness to the pit of my being. Things I once knew, people I once loved, promises I once made. It felt as though long-forgotten memories were dancing at the edges of my mind, but when I try to focus on them, they simply fade away. An effect of having a fractured soul, I shouldn't doubt. But lest you worry, I'm perfectly happy to remain fractured and have no intention of donning an Ascian mask. I just wish we knew what Elidibus was plotting. But look at this pair of incurable brooders. If we're going to stand around lost in thought, we may as well do it back in the city. Rest assured, Reen and I will take the children from here. Their heads will be in the clouds after meeting you, but we'll see to it that their feet remain firmly planted on the ground. Oh no. It's nothing, just a dizzy spell. Seems I tried a little too hard to beat you. I'm fine now, not to worry. I'll see you soon. As you ponder Alice's words, you are taken by an urge to revisit the scene of that fateful meeting. Well, alright. Something is calling us. A memory, perhaps.
Why am I... Was it you who called me here?
On behalf of the Convocation, I bid you welcome to our order. At times you will stand with us, at times you will stand against us, all that you might steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. For yours is the seat of Elidibus, the emissary, and by this name shall your every action be guided. A quick peek into the past.
So you peered into my memories. No matter. You will have found little of import. But I see you intended to summon me here no more than I intended to come. The fault is mine. Such is the burden of hope.
Why must you embroil the people in your plans?
I merely avail myself of such tools as I require for the conflict to come. That which I do is no different from that which you have done so many times, Warrior of Darkness. I arm myself, I hone my skills, I make ready to vanquish my enemy. You. You who have murdered my brothers, who have taken their selfless labors in service to the one true world and turned them to ash. I see you for what you are. You are death, and only in death shall you serve any purpose. The Convocation charged me to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. As Elidibus, it is my duty, and I shall see it done. I will strike you down. Destroy you, body and soul. All else must wait. Ere long I will come for you, Warrior of Darkness. And I will save the world. One last matter. I bore witness to your final struggle with Emet-Selch. It seemed as if he saw something familiar in you. As if he mistook you for another.
Hythlodaeus called me his new old friend.
No. I recall not of whom he spoke. Mayhap I never knew you. Or mayhap it is another fragment lost.
Ah, I wasn't aware you already had a guest. If the conversation is constructive, I shall not intrude. But if you seek to stir up trouble, Elidibus, then I must insist you leave at once.
Though you lack her blessing, your soul is surprisingly dense.
I remember when I saw the trailer for this patch, and they hyped that up as a big scene.
Worry not. I seem to be unharmed.
What a fake out.
This is my own doing. The consequence of my recent exertions. It is the Tower's way of compensating me for the demands I have placed on it. Rest assured, it is no great inconvenience at present. Indeed, I told Beck Lug as much, but they would not be persuaded and sent me away to rest. No need to make a fuss. Strange as it may sound, I consider it something of a badge of honor. One of the brave souls who saw me delivered unto the First once said that the world shall ever have a place for tales of heroism so long as we have need of inspiration in our lives. Though he and his fellows had no way of knowing whether their mad scheme would amount to anything, they knew that the attempt alone would inspire hope. Or so they hoped. A more optimistic lot one would be hard-pressed to find. They said they would find a means to save our God's forsaken world, just as soon as they had sent me on my way. Said it with such confidence that, for a fleeting moment, I half believed them. Such faith Such courage in the face of unrelenting despair. For a long time, it was more than I could bear to remember them. But having come this far, having sent full many on their way myself, I see things more clearly. To take action is to hope. To believe, to choose to believe, is to take the first step towards a brighter future. And why do I tell you this? Because I want you to indulge me in a little recklessness. Needless to say, I have a plan. And when all is said and done, I will ask yet another favor of you.
You're both here. Oh, thank goodness.
What's wrong?
It's Thancred. He's collapsed.
Oh dear. Never a dull moment. I'm so glad I found both you and the Exarch. The fates seem determined not to allow us a quiet moment. But come, let us have the details from Reen. The rest of our conversation must wait. Let us hear the situation from Reen. It happened after Alice and I saw the children back to Spigirix. We chanced to meet Thancred there, returning from his mission. He'd been shadowing Elidibus around the realm, only to lose sight of him near the Crystarium. And he was in the middle of telling us where he'd been when he just crumpled to the ground. The Kyvergians are looking after him now, with Alphinaud standing by just in case his healing magics are needed. Since I couldn't do anything to help, I thought it best to find you, and the guard at the XIV told me where to look. I see. It cannot have been easy leaving Thancred's side. My thanks for bearing word to us. Come, let us hurry to Spigirix. A worrying sign that our time may be running out here. The infirmary is at your disposal. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to let us know. Oh yeah, sure. But we're here to see Thancred. It appears our friend is already awakened. For that, at least, we can be thankful. Reen found you then. We had to send the children off earlier than planned, but they understood. I fear this bodes ill, and not just for Thancred. Thancred? Shouldn't you be resting? They dragged you here too, did they? My apologies. How do you feel? Embarrassed, but otherwise well enough. I won't be staying overnight. This episode was not the result of any injury I could find. Thancred's ether, however, did show signs of instability, and I did what I could to calm the fluctuations. And all of this happened without warning. Not exactly. You will doubtless recall the time Urianger nearly drowned and I gallantly went to his rescue. When his water-walking charm failed, he was tired, as were you when you got back. We were both spent, yes, on account of which you begged us to rest, which, in retrospect, may have been a good idea. The fact is, I've been experiencing regular bouts of lightheadedness ever since, but there was no actual fainting until now. Alice. She went through it too. As Alphinaud observed, I have no lingering injuries, and it most assuredly isn't old age, which leaves but one likely cause. The link between body and soul has weakened further. Time grows short. We must complete the spirit vessel with all haste. To that end, Foxy, might I trouble you to make a trip to the source? In addition to looking in on our friends' bodies, I would have you consult Kryl about our plan. If she has any concerns, we should at least endeavor to address them prior to proceeding. Sounds good to me. In the meantime, we should get back to laying bare Elidibus's plot. Thus far, I have learned this much, that in each of the places he has visited, there have been sightings of suspicious black-clad strangers. Moreover, the coming of these shady individuals has invariably coincided with some manner of misfortune. Beasts terrorizing settlements, blight ravaging crops, you know the sort of thing. All of which serves, rather conveniently, to make Elidibus's call for new heroes reverberate that much more loudly in the hearts of his audience. And you think these black-clad strangers are Scions? I do, and I fully intend to investigate further, though for that I shall require additional feet on the ground. You can count on mine. Kurt and I have been itching to get out there for a while. Mayhap Urianger too can be prevailed upon to join you in your efforts. He has already provided copious guidance on the matter of the spirit vessel's construction. It is for Beck, Lug, and I to wrestle with the rest. Well, if you can spare the old boy, we might as well make use of him. I'll go and give him the good news. You'll do no such thing. However heedless you are of your own well-being, if you care at all for Reen's feelings, you'll stay in bed until you're needed. Alphino and I will find Urianger. All being well, we will have news to share by the time you return. Safe travels, Foxy. Lest you misunderstand, I'm not averse to putting my feet up. It's being coddled like a brittle-boned nonagenarian that chafes. I know you cross the rift all the time, but please take care. Of course. Let's return to Revenant's Toll. Tataru. Foxy! What excellent, awful timing! You see, our friends, they've taken a turn for the worst. Kryle's hardly had a moment's rest these past few days. She didn't want everyone to worry, so we've been keeping it quiet. Oh, but listen to me. I call myself a receptionist, and I haven't even bothered to ask you why you're here. So they think the spirit vessel will be ready soon, and they want to make sure there are no problems at this end. You'd better talk to Kryle. She's with the others in Dawn's Respite. Let's go and see her. Just prepare yourself, alright? Is it really that bad in there? Dawn's Respite is through that door. Lead the way when you're ready. How are you guys doing? You needn't concern yourself with affairs here in Eorzea. The situation at the Gimlet Dark is well in hand thanks to the Alliance, and our efforts in containing potential primal threats have proven more than effective. I confess there is not a great deal I can do myself, but I am no less determined to do my part, which is why I have focused my efforts on recruiting others to join our cause. Hey, lovely. The Rising Stones will be a little bit fuller by the time we all get back. Mistress Kryle has apprised us of the Archon's present and unexpected situation. You may rest assured we will support her in any way we can to keep their bodies safe. Coltene is back, but where's Hoary Boulder? With Rio now out in the field, I was asked to return to make up for his absence. Alas, Hoary and the others were unable to accompany me. Oh, I guess they're still busy.
Excuse us. This way.
It's awful dark in here, isn't it?
I would rather you hadn't seen this.
I'm sorry. We have urgent tidings.
Oh, no, I'm not angry with you. On the contrary, I know full well how hard everyone has been searching for a way to return home. And I had hoped to afford you the time you needed. But given our friend's present state, perhaps it was for the best that you came. Stiff and cold, all of them. As if they were made of wax, barely alive at all. And they had been doing so well. Save for occasional signs of etheric instability, they appeared to be in passable health. Then, quite without warning, things took a turn for the worse. A change for which even Master Matoya could offer no explanation. She could only remind me that the soul is yet an unknown frontier, and that much and more lies beyond our ken. But let's not lose heart just yet. At times like these, it is all the more important that we remain positive. Why? I but this moment succeeded in quelling a fluctuation in Thancred's ether. And while the others have weakened, they have remained relatively stable. I believe I may leave my post for a moment. So come, let me hear your tale outside.
Just a little longer, friends. Just hold out a little longer. As you probably noticed, we've put them in night clothes. I know they're not exactly asleep, but it seemed like the right thing to do. I've made some new clothes for when they wake up, so they have to come back, and they will. Yes, they will. What news from the first? I see. Work on the spirit vessel proceeds apace, but our friends begin to falter. And as they themselves have observed, the link between body and soul has weakened. It's as simple as that. For now, I'm still able to quell the fluctuations in their ether, but it's only a matter of time. We'll lose them if we don't act soon, so if the Exarch is ready to attempt something, let him attempt it. As for the spirit vessel itself, if we seek to draw upon Allegan wisdom, we could do worse than consult an expert in the field. And I think I know just the man. Time being against us, it may be best if I go and solicit his aid in person, even if it does mean leaving my patients. Why don't I go find him? We've come a long way, so do take your ease while you can. Foxy, could you spare a moment? While Cryle goes and finds this expert of hers, I mean. There's a gift I was hoping to send to our friends in the first, you see, and since we might be waiting a while, I wondered if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to make it properly. I'll be in the kitchen at the House of Splendors. Meet me there. A little snack for our friends. Well, I had better be off too. I shall see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. Are you sure you don't want me to go find your expert? I mean, what if they take a turn while you're out? Then they're fucked. Ah, there we are. There you are, Foxy. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of home cooking. Unlike Kryl, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. No, I've been doing my best for the Order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out with the Ishgardian restoration. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit, so I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. Then what did you need me for? There, baked to perfection, even if I do say so myself. It's bread. It's bread. But not just any old bread. This here is old world bread. Archon loaf, to be precise. It's what they eat over in Sharlayan. Simple fare, I admit, but I thought it would remind our friends of home. If nothing else, Kryl tells me it's a good source of ether. So it should lend them a bit of strength at least. Well, that's good. There is truly nothing like the smell of bread fresh from the oven. Kryl, and if it isn't Rambrose too. Haha, Rambrose. I trust you require no introductions, Foxy. Greetings, my friend. Full glad am I to see you well. I confess I have a long list of questions to ask you, but I will endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with the application of certain elegant technologies. I've been keeping Rambrose apprised of events in the First. Suffice it to say, he knows about the Exarch. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it's him and his fellow sons. Ahem! Loath as I am to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement. Memory transference was the sole province of Allegan royalty, its mechanisms closely guarded secrets. If any record of them remains, we have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bothered to come here empty-handed as I am. The answer being rather brazenly to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Tell him that we never doubted him. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. Those of us who remained behind have yet to play our part. But when the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. And then the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope, in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done, and that he should follow his heart now. Forgive me, but do you say this to discourage him from overexerting himself, or to encourage him to hold nothing back? That is for our friend to decide, but either way I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Well, there you have it, Foxy. If you would be so good as to see Rambro's message and Tataru's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. Kryl, before I wrap the bread up, would you mind giving it a try, just to make sure that everything's as it should be? But of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. Excuse me, Rambrose. As a fellow Sharlayan, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Rolandberry jam, but I suppose plain is best for sampling purposes. I see. Oh no, is it that bad? It is indeed, Tataru. Dense and unpleasant. Exactly as it should be. Haha, just so. The very taste of home. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. In Sharlayan, the majority regard food as a source of nourishment rather than enjoyment. Save for those few who actually research the culinary arts, we pay little heed to the niceties of taste and texture. It was against such a gastronomic landscape that that what is now called the Archon Loaf was born. The creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily sustenance. In order to maximize its nutritional value, he incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetable matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities which make the bread enjoyable. The result is a flavor that continues to defy description. And yet for its many shortcomings, the loaf's natural nutritional value cannot be denied. And being a damnably convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience amongst busy scholars. Why, when I was a lad, nigh every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread and whatever ingredients happened to be on hand. I suspect just about every Archon could say the same. Having been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste, but no, it's all too familiar. Ah, how it takes me back. If there's enough, perhaps you can spare some for the Exarch. He is certain to appreciate it. Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. Foxy, when you deliver the loaf, please be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell him we're doing everything we can, and that we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back. Well, it's good to see Rambrose again. And Kryl. And Tataru, of course, but we've seen her the most out of everybody in the source. Well, it sounds like it'll do them good anyway. And when everything's back to normal, I'll cook something for you too, Foxy. Gods know you deserve a treat. Looking forward to it. Let's head back to the Crystarium. Hello, friends. Ah, you are returned. Good, good. There is much to discuss. The others are making their way hither as we speak. Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? Archon Loaf, created by an Archon who devoted himself to the study of sustenance. This bread infused with pulverized fish and vegetable is extremely nutritious, assuming one can get past the taste. Here you go, buddy. By the 12, Archon Loaf. However did you come by this? I swear it had come straight from Sharlayan. Rambrose said that, did he? His words are very nearly as heavy as the bread, but I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry. That which I seek to do, I do of my own volition and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the censure of our friends, and to deserve it, but I shall forge on regardless. Forge on as you yourself did when faced with a similar predicament, so I ask that you have faith in me, in what we do. Oh, I have faith. But we were talking about your journey. Before the others arrive, I would hear how their bodies fare. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconducive they are to conversation. Man, so it's unpleasant and incredibly chewy? Jesus.
Forgive the delay.
We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Scions throughout the realm.
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The Black Masked minions who answer to the Red.
Yes, a gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events, to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. It is but a pity I cannot encourage them on their cause.
Not knowing Elizabeth set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Scions quickly and quietly.
I quite agree.
But tell us, What news from the source? How fare our bodies?
Well enough, but time is not on our side, or I'm sorry, but things have taken a turn for the worse. I think it's time to be honest.
Oh dear. Then we must redouble our efforts. Not that we've ever stinted in that regard.
This would seem an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Tell me you've made some progress.
We have, as it happens. One moment.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition. Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allegan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects notably do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint, and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties. It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
You're doing this for our sakes. So far be it from us to complain. But don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works, we shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting. The test is like to take a while.
Let us be off then. We have Scions to attend to, among other things.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels, and there are only 5 of us.
One is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Yes. In theory, at least. But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
I would.
I see.
It's a hard thing to reconcile for all of them. Thinking that Graha might not just be sacrificing his body, but his soul. I'm sorry, I know it was childish to storm off like that, and probably to feel the way I do, as well. Pull yourself together, Alice. When our grandfather first decided to journey to Eorzea, Alice did not take kindly to my silence on the subject. Don't pretend to understand things you don't, she said, or rather shouted. Having oft been the subject of her scorn, I am predisposed to sympathize with the Exarch, but I do understand how she feels. Better now than ever I did, certainly. It's stupid, but I never really stopped to think about what would happen once the vessels were complete. And now... No, there's no point. I hope the test is a success, truly. I for one support the Exarch's choice. To be alive is to be driven by a purpose, and fewer is driven as him. Hast thou a moment, Foxy? I would speak with thee on the matter of the Exarch's mooted return unto the source. Thou wilt have observed that our friend spake not in certainties. Yet if Becklug hath the right of it, 'tis possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence. And it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch hath been subjected to an additional rejoining, an experience which will have wrought a change in his ethereal composition. As thou thyself didst demonstrate in merging with Ardbert, however, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this doth give us cause to hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which success doth hinge. The Exarch must needs recognize his past self as simply that, himself. As our recent travails have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. 'Tis a seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh on a century our friend hath striven only to deliver this realm, to deliver thee. And to that singular end did he cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. Henceforth none can say what choices our friend will make, but I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. That's true. And a prudent thing to make us aware of. Lest there be any doubt, the Exarch hath long been aware of the possibilities that he but recently unfolded to us. Wheretofore he did refrain from sharing them until now, I cannot say. Right then, while the Exarch literally pours his own sweat and blood into his allotted task, it seems only fair that we attend to our own. Dealing with Elidibus and his minions. Just so, and there is one other matter. In light of our deteriorating health, Y'shtola should not be left alone at Anida. Might I trouble you to visit her, Foxy? See that all is well? I would go myself, but I think she might be safer in the hands of one less prone to collapsing. That's true. Leave it to me. My thanks. You may leave the Ascians to us. Once they are out of the way, we will retire to Yulmore. And when Y'shtola has finished plumbing the depths, I'd like the two of you to join us there. If you are bound for Anida, I suggest you go via Venment Yards. Our friends there will be glad to provide a boat for you. Let us be on our way then. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Oh, right. I have a delivery from the source, Kupo, courtesy of one Tataru Taru. It even makes the Moogle sound. You've come a long way from home, Moogle. And this is from Tataru, is it? Whatever could it be? Archon loaf, thou sayest? Why, even to hear the name doth transport me to times long past. Bread from another world. May I try some? Mayest thou, child, thou must. That said, though I personally disagree with the consensus, I do nonetheless advise thee to temper thine expectations. Oh, Ryanje actually likes it. Wiser words have never been uttered. Though it rarely darkened our dining table at home, I can attest that it was standard fare at the studium. Indeed, a slice was never far from our peers' hands. Alphino, you really are an unbearable snub sometimes, do you know that? What I believe my colleagues are trying to say is that we appreciate the gesture. Tell Tataru we'll do our best to return before she's forced to seek further supplementary employment. Right, let's really be off now. We can find a drink to wash down the bread on the way. Hey, Alphino, they're leaving you. You had to think that long and that hard on being called a snob, did you? And on that note, we are going to wrap up this episode. This patch is probably going to last, at the minimum, 2 episodes, maybe even 3, because a lot happens, so be prepared for that. In the meantime, my name is Foxy Games, and I shall see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.